Good morning, friends. Good afternoon. How we doing? How we doing today? How are the nerves? How are the nerves? How are we? We good? We good? Vlado, Lamuel, Mancunian, Stewart, how we going? I want the money more than the trophy. How wrong is that? You're not wrong at all. I want the money too. It's the future we're talking about. We know we are not here to win Europa Leagues. We have not come to this planet to live, win Europa Leagues, and die. We have come to win it all. But we need the money. We need the money, man. We need the money bad. We do. Here we go. We're in this together. Bosch, IR, Money Miles, Chris, Britannic, Might, Red Baron. Let's go, everybody. Hamza, Ray, Ty. Oof. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. I'm not chilling. No more nails left. Yeah. Sick to your stomach. One of the things that is good for me is that the night before last, I couldn't sleep because of the nerves of the game and all sorts of things, and I was so anxious. And then because I didn't sleep the night before last, I was so tired last night. I got really good sleep, and I feel pretty good today. I feel better. Ale. Magic in the air. Sleepless night before the final. I slept great last night, Jonathan, though. It was the night before last that I did it. Today, we're positive on everybody. No matter what team is selected. Oh, shit, I'm going to sneeze again. No matter what team is selected, no matter what players are picked, no matter who is going out there, those are our guys. And they have only our support today, as long as we can manage it. As long as we can manage it. As long as we can manage it. I think it's an important message. As I said it the other day, I said that today I will be positive. What jersey? I can't wear jerseys during games. It is a superstition I have gained that unfortunately I can't put back. The jerseys that I do have are I feel cursed, unfortunately, in that respect. Even though I've got, hold on. I want to wear Casemiro, because if there's a player who obviously would represent winning and showing up in the big games, it's Casemiro. But I can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't. It's cursed. I've got to get a new one. 50, welcome, buddy. I have to find one that works, Can I search? Back out here. Nerves of Jello. Bruno and Mag's trophy picks are a Memorum out agenda. Nasty. You can wear a Hoyland. I don't think it works that way. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Stuart, 10 gifted memberships to the community. Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate you so much, buddy. It's the right day. Jonathan, John, Sam J, Seed Sense, Cy, Merv, Robert, Wahib, Azen, and Matthew. Yep. You preach stats, just look at our games against them. Oh, listen, I understand. I know. I know the context of the last game against Spurs. I don't have this feeling like we're like the underdogs that we should lose or that there's anything special about the fact that they've beaten us, okay? Um, the first one, they were in a different situation, we were in a different situation. The cup game, we gave up that game with the way we selected the lineup and all of that. The last 1-0 was incredibly tight. It was incredibly tight. It was like absurdly tight, and we had nobody on the bench. I don't care about any of that. We have the guys who should show up and win. That's the truth of it. We have guys who should show up and win in a final. No, it's not over. Yeah, and it's not overconfidence either. It's just we have the guys who should show up and win. We have the guys who should do that. But it's. I know in a final, it's just who shows. That's all that matters, man. It's just who shows. It's just who plays. It's just who turns up, who's alive, who's there. That's what matters. And we have people who've shown for it. We have people who've played for it. We have people who've won everything. So I trust them. Varane won everything. He showed up for the last FA Cup final. Well, he's not here, but Casemiro didn't play that game. Casemiro's here. He got a show. He's got a show. Big time. Have I seen the leaked lineup with Ahmad not starting? I did, but I don't think that leaks are accurate. But then again, maybe it is. Maybe it would be. Maybe we should leak. Throw a little sauce in the pan. Throw a little grenade in the whatever. I mean, what if, Should I put out fake news on the lineup? Should I say something? You never know. Leaks or something in the past? No. Well, no. The thing about it that I will tell you guys, which has always been a little bit of amusing, the team still leaks. It's just people don't want to. People are purposefully not putting out there, and that's great. That's good. That's a good thing. That's a positive. People have stopped saying them, stopped putting it out. The team still leaks. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I've known the team ahead of time. There's days I've known the day before the team, but I don't know what to do about that, frankly. But as long as it's not being put out there, then it's different. The team does still leak. I have considered many times, should I just put out nonsense? Just maybe it would help, but probably not the right day to do it. It's cursed, you know what I mean? Cursed. Yeah, we're like Jesus, man. We are 2 hours and 45 minutes from the lineup. 2 hours, 45 minutes from the lineup. Can't believe that. The lineup part makes me nervous, too, because it's like the worry before the worry. Halftime Orange is welcome to Pro Muppet, my friend. Good to see you again. Damn, what was I going to say? Henry Winter's piece this morning? What was that? What, his thing on Bruno's good but not a great for United? You think it was a hit piece on Bruno? I remember seeing that headline earlier, and I meant to read it to see what the context was. Do you really disagree? You really disagree? I'll tell you what my feelings are on it, all right? I do think that Bruno doesn't nearly have the legacy of many of these players. But I think that this is this is the type of thing that is an opportunity to build on that legacy. A day like today. That's how I feel. And I think that should motivate more than anything. I mean, I don't know what the intention with the piece was, but I said myself in that video I made the other day, like, this is the last chance. Like, you got to realize something about Bruno, okay? It's not an insult. This is not a judgment or anything, but it is the reality of the stakes, right? If we don't win today, we won't be good again while Bruno is here. You know that, right? It doesn't matter whether who it's under, what's all of that. It doesn't matter any of that. Okay? You know, Bruno, this is the type of game Bruno needs to win to help us get back to the top, to create a legacy of greatness for United. I don't think it's a legacy of greatness yet, because we've been a failure for a long time. You know, I know we've won a couple of cups the last few years, but we've won cups before that. We won Europa Leagues under Jose Mourinho. We won an FA Cup under Van Gaal. We won a League Cup under Jose as well. We've won cups with other players. Marcus Rashford has more trophies. Is Marcus Rashford a great at this point in time? Probably not. But he's got more success. You know, we need more. And I don't even think a Europa League makes necessarily greatness yet, but it is a step in the right direction. It's a step forward. And it could lead to greatness. If it can help us climb back up to the top, then I think that should never go unappreciated and under the radar. You know, if we win this and it springboards us forward into where we need to be, then Rashford can be great. I mean, I just read a comment about Rashford. Then Bruno can be great for us. He can bring us to where we want to be. And that's, I think, what he has to do. I don't think it's a shame to say he's not, you know, he isn't, you know, great yet. I mean, look, we've had part of that is just a testament to the fact that we've had so many great players. You know what I mean? I mean, if you look at in the history of Real Madrid, you know, does Vinicius make it into their best team? No. But some of that's just simply because of how much they've won. You know what I mean? The greats are greats. United have a lot of greats. The timing of it is wrong. Maybe. I don't know. I don't particularly care. You know. But yeah. I think that part of it is just because of how great we've been, you know? You have to do amazing things to be great at United. And I don't think anybody's there yet. But we could be there. We could be there. Let's wait till the end. Let's wait till the end of his career. Let's wait till the end of his time at United. Let's see what happens. But I do think that tonight is a pivotal moment in the legacy of him at United. A pivotal moment in his legacy, a pivotal moment in you know, in him being probably our best player since Sir Alex. A pivotal moment in his life. He's got to be a winner. And I think this is a moment when he can take a big step forward in becoming a winner. That's all. Who would I think is more of a great, him or Rashford for United? I mean, to me, it's still Rashford just because he's been here. He was here for so long. He's won more, but by the end, I think Bruno probably will do more, and in the end more. But yeah, I always think Rashford has been, his career at United has been wholly disrespected just because of the current situation. Let's not forget, Rashford is here since he was a kid. Came in as a young player and was productive for 8-9 years straight, and had won everything but the Champions League and the Premier League. It's not an insult on Bruno. It's just, you know, the levels are not, you know, the levels are not comparable to what they were under Sir Alex anyway. So it's whatever. But they're my two favorite players for sure. In that time. They're my two favorite players for sure in that time. You also have to bear in mind Rashford had a big game record, goals for trophies, more than Bruno at this point in time. He has a good record in big games, Rashford. Bruno's got to step up in big games because it's one of the fair criticisms of Bruno is for a while he didn't really show in big games for a bit. But he can. And today's one of those days. He needs to show up in this final because he didn't in the last one. Just to be clear, in the last Europa final, he didn't. But he can, and I think he will, and I think he will help us win this game for sure. Because I think it's a different Bruno than we had in the past. I think he has even evolved now, and I believe in him, and I think he will help us win this game. But we need him to. You understand what I mean by that? Like, I think we have to. He has to. For us to win this, he has to have a big game, He is more mature, he's more balanced, he's more focused, he's less chaotic than he used to be. He needs to show. He needs to show for us to win. We're going to need him. And he will. I think he will. I feel confident that Bruno will show today. I haven't in years past, but it's kind of funny to me this year because I think I like Bruno now more than I did when we were better. In a way. Like I loved Bruno when he first showed up, but after his maybe first 18 months, I started to have concerns because of the things that were mentioned. The things like there was at times too much chaos, there was at times too much lack of control, there was at times too much like hot and cold, hit or miss. It was not focused. I felt it was not mature as a performance. It was erratic, and under Ten Hag it got worse. But I honestly feel as though literally the last 5 months I've seen a better Bruno than I've ever seen in terms of his well-roundedness as a player in total. I'm not talking about production. I'm not talking about what have you. I'm saying as a player, he's been better in the last 5 months as a team player, as a leader, as a captain, and as a and I think more resembles what he needs to be in the last 5 months than I've ever seen in his career. And I've been incredibly impressed. And so that's why I have more confidence in him today than I used to. I have more confidence in him today than I used to. And Casemiro as well, in that there was not that Casemiro wasn't a great player or something like that, but Casemiro said something interesting. There was someone, Ray, a good friend of ours in community, sent me an interview he did recently and with a Brazilian podcast, I think it was, and he spoke about this season, and how proud he was of it. That it was one of his most proud moments because it's a difficulty he's never really gone through, where he wasn't counted on by the coach, where he wasn't, involved, where he wasn't, and he's been able to work his way through it, and he feels incredibly proud of it. It's a lot of pride in someone like Casemiro to do that. And it's and I thought that was good to see. I mean, look, I think it when somebody who's got 7 Champions Leagues and has the career of someone like Casemiro is proud of their ability to fight back from not being an important player, and even in the situation that we're in, I think that matters, and I think he'll want to complete that. I think he'll want to complete that. And there was also, I want to say as well, a message that in there that they showed him from Rio, or like it was an interview with Rio Ferdinand or something. That they just showed some lines to Casemiro, and I'm telling you, man, that I think it's really important to see that. It's really important for some of these legends to talk, to throw their weight behind these players, to throw their support behind them, because it matters, man. It means something. The mental aspect of football is so big, and it's here. Hold on, I'll try to find the account. Hold on. Here, I'll throw you the account, the Instagram. All right, and it's like the third one down or something. 1, 2, 3, fourth one down, and it's got like the thumbnail has Rio on it. All right, and there's words from Casemiro in there, and then there's words from Rio in there too. But yeah, give it a watch. It's cool to see. It's subtitled because it's in Brazilian. But you know, I really think it matters when these legends throw it behind, because I cannot stress enough, when we're talking about players, when we're talking about stats, when we're talking about transfers, when we're talking about winning and losing, when we're talking about all of that, I gotta tell you, man, I think the thing that is missed by so many people in trying to evaluate, good versus great, and evaluate stats and all that, that is hard. Portuguese, excuse me. Obviously, it's Portuguese. They speak Portuguese in Brazil. It's not in Brazil, yeah. Is the mental aspect of football, and the aspects of focus, and the aspects of determination, and all of that. And I think when the legends step up and talk about United and throw their weight behind them, it gives us that feeling. It gives them that strength behind it, and I think it also helps to strike a little bit of fear into the heart of the others. I think it matters. Love the fact that Ineos did not invite Ten Hag for the final. Keep that guy away from the United. Yeah, that was an interesting headline to read. I already made this joke in Patreon in the Discord, but it's like Bin Laden not invited for the 9/11 memorial. Okay. I don't know why they would invite Ten Hag to this. We're winning the Europa League with Ruben Amorim? I hope so, man. I definitely have the nerves, man. I definitely have the nerves. Did you watch the Casemiro thing? It's because I got, when he sent me that this morning, I felt good. I felt good, man. I felt good. I felt like that's, he's got it. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like, I don't know how to put it, but the confidence it's inspiring from guys like that. The confidence is inspiring. You know what I mean? It is very, very inspiring. Casemiro isn't letting us lose today. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Now, a brief little bit of news that's kind of been building on everything that we spoke about, is that Fabrizio this morning in a video essentially said that Victor Gyokeres is our. Hang on, let me read what this guy said. All right, hold on. He says, Champions League is crucial for United. Gyokeres is the dream. Gyokeres is the dream. Delap the alternative. Some players are waiting for United to get Champions League to make their final decision. Not Cunha. Cunha's done. And And he talked about if we invest a lot in a striker, Rasmus could leave to Italy, but he didn't want to talk about that today, which is fine. So, more and more evidence. Gyokeres is our guy. If we can win, we'll go for the big name. This is Fabrizio. This is Fabrizio Romano who said this. So, yeah. If we win today, we're getting Gyokeres. I think so too. This is the Gyokeres Cup for me now, because it makes it even bigger. Not only if we win do we have Champions League, but we get a much better striker. Another year where I cut papers over the cracks and we buy the coach's previous players. Do we need to have a run through of all the good players who've come out of Portugal recently? Are you getting drunk if we win? I mean, I might get drunk if we win. I might get drunk if we lose. I do have the drinks ready. I don't drink. I'm not a consumer of substances of like any kind. But I do have the beers ready. And I probably will be having a few during the game, just to settle the nerves. No, I people always assume that from Colorado, but I don't like anything. I don't like drugs and alcohol much at all. Like at all. I'm really not a. They all make me feel worse. Just once in a while, a few drinks. That's it. But like literally, like once every few months. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. I have not had good experiences in my life with them, and they all just make me feel bad. They all just make me feel worse, honestly. It's not the same for everybody, you know what I mean? Caffeine is my vice, 100%. Yeah, I drank a ton of caffeine, but yeah. It's like that for a lot of people, I think. I think that for a lot of people, you know, substances don't make us feel better. They make us feel worse. They make me more anxious, you know what I mean? They make me more stressed. They double it. Doesn't matter what it is, you know, they double it. Yeah, alcohol shoots. Yeah. That's how it is for a lot of people as well. It's not the nerve settler that it like a lot of things aren't the nerve settler that they are for some. How many kids do I have? I've got one son. Yeah, no, I don't even want to read any more copium, all right? I don't want to read any more copium, all right? Because it's like all of that matters. All of that means something, but Onana could still palm it in front of the goal. Garnacho can still miss a breakaway one-on-one chance, you know? Son can still hit a curler from outside the box. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. I don't want the copium. I just want him to show up. Major European final in Spain of all places. Ain't no way Uncle Cass lets us lose that. Up the fucking Reds. Keep up the good work, James. Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you, buddy. I don't think Casemiro will let us lose either. I don't. I don't. Theater of Nightmares. Welcome to hell. All of that could happen and we will still win. It could. You never know. I'm just saying it's all everything. Which matchup would be the decider today? I think the wide area is not the midfield. The midfield actually, as long as we pick the right players, will be fine. Because I think it's the wide areas. If you watch the Spurs game where they beat us, the reason I say the wide areas is that even though they were using some of their midfield to do it, it's going to be the right wing back. I think to me is the biggest position because I think Dorgu defends really well on the left, And I think that's why I'm more nervous that Emram gets the team right, because we need to be able to it's the fullbacks essentially. We have to mess with their fullbacks. They can be really energetic in the middle at shifting and moving around, but it still all comes from out to in, from the fullbacks for them. Um, if we're too passive at the fullbacks, they can run all over us. Their movement is really, really, really hard to deal with if we are passive with the fullbacks. If our fullbacks are passive and don't get behind them and aren't pushing them back, they will outnumber us. They're really good at those movements, creating those runs between the lines, getting in behind via the fullback winger combinations. They're very good at that. Um, we can't let them win the aggression battle out wide. Because their midfield moves around and manipulates. They're really good at finding the ways in between the center backs. If you can keep their fullbacks deep, we'll be fine. You know, I'll give credit to Ten Hag for this, by the way, for one game. Way back, maybe it was his first season. I think it was against Man City. I think it was, for me, one of the best performances we've ever done. Against a team that kind of plays that way, where their fullbacks are so fundamental to playing through the lines, where we did this thing where we blocked off the middle and we kind of let their fullbacks run, but then we tracked every runner with our midfield so that the fullbacks had their space to run in, but we were doubling up on the runners. And they couldn't do anything, Man City, in that game. They couldn't do anything about it. That was so good out of possession, and I actually think it's a pretty similar blueprint to defending teams like Tottenham, who do that. Now we've not done that as well since, right? But I think that was an example of you can defend them without defending them, and what I mean is you don't have to one-to-one press everybody. You can let them run, mark the runners, and then what I see is when you get in possession, make sure you get up and behind them. So, yeah, that's how I see it. So I think that that's what we can do. In the cup final, they did their own thing and ignored Ten Hag, according to Varane. Well, yeah. Yeah. The other thing we could do that I think has potential, which is again why I like the Casemiro Ugarte midfield, is similar to that Barcelona away. When you've got a player like Ugarte in a similar way that you had a player like Fred, you can use them in almost a similar way to Herrera, by the way. Chase after whatever midfielder they've got that's going to be on the ball the most, and just have them stick to them. Be physical, be tight to them, be on them at all times, and throw them out of their game. Shreyas, how do you keep yourself calm? James, give me some tips. I haven't been calm this week. There's no doubt. I have not been calm for a week, but today it's just yapping. Using that energetic out of possession midfielder to just chase after the guy who's going to have the ball the most in the midfield and keep them out of their rhythm. I think there's something to be said for disruption as a tactic. It less worrying about how you're going to set up and more just disrupt them so that they can't play their game. Is sometimes a really effective tactic in cup games. And it's something we did well, that Fred did well in big games. That's why he had such a good big game record. Because Fred was so aggressive, and he would not let teams play their game. That you could not settle when Fred was on the pitch as in a big game. When I'm not talking about when you had tons of possession and they're in a deep block, but when you're playing in a big games, Fred would disrupt so much what other teams would do. He did it versus City so many times. He did it versus Tottenham, he did it versus so many teams successfully for Ten Hag and for Solskjaer. One of the reasons we had a good record in big games with him against Barcelona, all that, just disrupt them, and they can't get into any rhythm, and then you can hit them. And I think we can do the same thing with Spurs because we have that. We have the ability to do that. That's probably one of Ugarte's best strengths, not being a sitter. And in this Casemiro midfield is just let him run, let him get up the pitch, disrupt, and take them out of their game. Add Ederson in the midfield, sort of. Yeah, I mean that's why I like someone like Ederson too, because he can do the same thing in a very offensive way. But yeah, I agree. Interesting times, man. We are so up for this. Oh man. The closer it's getting, the worse the nerves are building again. Objectively, which side does this final matter more? I think for us. And I'll tell you why. If Spurs lose, they're just Spurs. And I know that sounds bad, but it's like, you know, if Palace go into the FA Cup final against City and lose, nobody. It's kind of a weird one because it's like, I think it's worse for us if we lose, but it's bigger for them if they win. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of the opposite. Like, it's really bad for us to lose, but it's really big for them to win from their perspective, I would imagine. That's kind of how I feel about it. So it's hard to split it in that sense. For us, it's like a fucking absolute disaster if we lose. Thank you all for being here, by the way. Make sure while you're here, smash the like button. Do all of that. Thank you. Appreciate that always. What else? What else did I want to do today? What else? We're just hanging out. We're just yapping. We're just passing the time. I'm gonna be live for like probably. I'm gonna try to be live for like another hour. Not gonna lie. Then I have to get home. I'm gonna go home to do the watch along. I've got some things to do, for like a short 30 minutes, and then I'll be live for the pre-match and the lineup. So I'm gonna be live for a while here, just hanging out. You've never been nervous about a United match in your life? Good for you, man. I've definitely been nervous. I get nervous. I for sure get nervous. I get nervous all the time, man. I'm nervous for everything. I know it doesn't maybe seem like it because I'm always like yapping in front of hundreds of people, but I'm always nervous. That's okay though. You know that it's like nerves are okay, you know? Nerves are okay. It's normal. It's normal to have nerves. You can be confident and you can have nerves at the same time. I don't know how to explain that, but you can. You know, yeah, you can. You can. You can be in I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. But you can be confident, calm, and nervous at the same time. I feel like that's pretty normal. I think that's okay. I think that once the lineup comes out, I'll settle even more. Yeah, it's like when you get married, you could be nervous, but you're still happy, confident, and composed. You know what I mean? For a big day or something like that. There's plenty of occasions in your life that match that description, I think. Be less nervous if Hoyland doesn't play. Josh Allen is known for throwing up. Isn't that any given Sunday as well? Isn't that the thing in there? He throws up before every game, and then that's that. 09 burned me. I was so confident, then crushed. You know, I'll never. I don't think I'll ever be confident in things like a Champions League final, because when you're talking about playing against the best teams in Europe, I don't think you can ever feel that way. I don't think I've ever been confident in Champions League, like ever, and that's fine. I just think that the levels are so hard to compare when you're talking about the Champions League that it's much harder to feel confident. What's your opinion on my QB? I don't know. I don't know enough about the NFL these days. I don't know enough about the NFL these days. I don't follow enough. All I know is everybody I liked in the NBA's got knocked out, so that's a bummer. But, yeah. It's a weird build-up for this title. Yeah. Confused. Weird build-up to this final. All the teams winning their first trophies. The thing is, none of it matters. None of that matters. You know what I mean? Like, all that matters is who shows up on the day. Like, that's the truth of it. Narratives are meaningless. I'm 33. I'm 33. All that matters is who shows up on the day. Like, you got to remember that after everything. We all have our own superstitions, our own beliefs. There's all sorts of narrative. There's also stats. There's all sorts of bullshit, right? And, like, you know, stats can be predictive of certain matters, certain things, for sure. But all the stuff like that is so disconnected. You know, let's be real for a minute. There is no justice in this universe. There is no balance. Palace winning has nothing to do with Tottenham and United. Nothing. It's just who shows up. It's just who shows up. That's it. It's just who shows up. Nothing else matters. It really doesn't. It's just, that's it, man. Yeah. We seen it last year where almost everyone played a perfect game in City, had a few players who had off days. And that's it. It's just who shows up. And the thing is that, like, we have to make sure we don't have off days, because I think we have the bigger game changers. But yeah, it's who shows. You could say Palace won as they wanted it more, and I agree. Look, to me, it's stuff like Amy. Like, I agree with you. Like, it's stuff like, you know, Haaland giving his penalty away, to me, is a marker that City were not mentally in it. Never in a million. If Bruno gave away his penalty kick, like, let's say he gets a pen, we get a pen today, and Bruno gives it to someone else, I think we lose on the spot. I would think we would lose, because to me, that's insane. That's nuts. And I'm saying that, like, to me, I don't care what anybody says or justifies in it. You're a loser. You do that, you have the wrong mentality on that day. You have the wrong mentality on that day, because you shouldn't. You're thinking past it or something. You're thinking about something else entirely. You're not thinking about that day, that game. You should step there and say, "I want the kick. It's mine. I want the kick. It's my goal. I want it now. Period." Whoever is the designated person, they should be taking it no matter what. That is insane, and that shows of an awful mentality. And it can be 10%. It can just be 10% like, oh, it would be good for him, or oh, he needs this, or you're overthinking it of like, oh, no, you should be determined. It is not it's a team sport. That doesn't mean that's not an example of that. The best thing you can do for your team in that moment is just score, not give it to somebody else. Just score. So it's things like that that show you mentally when teams are there and when they're not. It's little markers like that in terms of who's showing up and who hasn't. But City have never. I'll say this. I don't think City under Pep have ever been that strong mentally for the big games. Um, my opinion. I mean, they blew it a lot in Champions League for this reason. There's always something soft about Pep's teams in big games. I don't know why, but they just are. They're soft in big games. There's a mentality that isn't there um for Pep's teams. I think so. I don't buy it. His big game records are not been that great at City since he arrived there. I think they overthink it. I think that, yeah, I mean, I even think in the one they beat Inter, they were pretty weak. They were pretty weak. They should have been so much better in Champions League. Like, you do realize that over Pep's time here at City. They should have been better. But they overthink it. They don't there's something too calculating about it. And I'm telling you, man, it's one of those things. The players decide it. The players decide it. I mean, losing the Champions League final to that Chelsea team's nuts to me. Crazy. To Mount Havertz Werner, that's crazy. That's crazy. Um, yeah, yeah, Lukaku had multiple. Exactly. Like, they should have lost that game as well. In addition, it's just there's always something off about them. Their big game record is not that good when you compare the quality of their team relative to the competition, right? The quality of their team relative to competition, it does not match up to their big game record. Um, yeah. So I don't think that they've been that good in big games. Like, quality will still take you far, and it will, but they haven't been that good in big games. Even in the league, like, they've not been special. They've always been really, really good at beating everybody else, but they've never actually been like insanely dominant. Like, even in their best years, we were able to get wins against them in the league and stuff. I don't know. It's just something I've always noted about them, that you know, and they win. And you get a hell of a lot of points by being flat track bullies and just beating everybody that is in front of you. But they've always been a little weak in the big games compared to their quality. Compared to their quality. It's always important to measure that because quality can be something. And they've been hungover for a full year now. I mean, Rio, I want to see his combined 11. He's taking Onana. He's taking Maguire. He's taking Lenny. He's taking Dowlow. He's taking Dorgu. Don't get it wrong, Rio. Don't do it, Rio. He's taking Ugarte. He's taking Casemiro. He's taking Bruno. He's taking Ahmad. See, I love that. I love that. The only Hold on. This is funny. I gotta hold on. I'm gonna pull this up. No. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. Oh my god. I can't believe he's done that, honestly. I can't believe he did it. I really, really can't. Hold on. This is too funny. Let me make sure I get this. All right, hold on. Just watch. He's taking Lenny. He's taking Dallo. Dorgu. He has a thought about Betancourt versus Ugarte. Takes Ugarte. Casemiro. Bruno. Ahmad. Oh no, man. Oh man, that's cruel. That He's taking Garnacho over Sun Hyung-min, but he couldn't pick Hoyland. He couldn't pick Hoyland, man. What the hell? That is crazy. That's crazy. I was like, all right, well, hold on a second. Like, I thought he'd pick like Vicario or something. I thought he would pick Sun, but that was crazy. That I did not expect that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to go on about it too much. I don't want to be. I'm not even being negative. I just did not expect that. I really did not expect that. That was cruel, man. Holy shit. He's not wrong, obviously, but like, damn. Okay, that was. Oh my god. Okay. Um. Oh god, that is absolutely diabolical. Hope he proves him wrong today. I hope so too. I hope so too, man. I hope so too. Go get a goal now today. Big up, guys. Good luck for today, and congratulations, Ricardo, to your boys at Sporting. I know they have another final as well on Sunday, right? Yep. I know you've got another final as well on Sunday. Sunday. It's Ob's a response to Neville. Maybe. Do I have team news? I'm not going to tell you whether I do or I don't. Because if I say that I do, and then I say stuff, you're going to take it to mean something. I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm not risking anything here. Benfica. Thanks, yes. Oh, how long to go to lineups? Oh, 2 hours to the lineup. 2 hours to the lineup. Scary. Scary. Ah, man. It's good to see some of the former players getting behind the teams versus Scholes and Neb. Yeah, I agree. Definitely getting a little bit nervous now, no doubt about that. Nerves are picking up again. They were settled again this morning, but they are picking up again. It's too early. Like, now is the time where if I could, I would just have one little beer. But it's 9:38 in the morning. I can't, right? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Nah. It's 9:38 in the morning. I'll just be tired if I do that. That's too early. I'm 33. I can't be drinking at 9:38 in the morning. I have a child. Too early. It's 5 p.m. So, well, I know that. If you're a real American, man, you'd get beer, James. I mean, I can't do that. Who posted the Rio video? It's like the TNT thing, I think, or it's him. I don't know. I do like that. Again, I think the big deal is the officials. One thing I definitely think is a big advantage for us is the officials. That we don't have English refs actually be allowed to play football today. That matters. In India, it starts at 12:30 a.m. Extra times and pens it's 3. That's crazy. For when we've had some preseason in the Far East where the games are at like 2, 3 in the morning for me. Those are tough. Those are tough to watch, man. Those are tough to watch. Those are hard. Those hours are definitely rough. How is the Europa League TV coverage in the US? I don't know actually. I try not to watch much by way of punditry, but I'll tune in a little bit later today and before the game and check it out when I'm setting everything up. Can we talk about Eric Ten Hag? We already did our joke on that, but yeah, agreed. He should be on trial. 20. Okay. Check the latest post from MUFC Scoop. Okay. Sure, why not? Oh yeah, that's the Casemiro one. That's what I shared earlier. That someone sent me this morning. Isn't the ref the one that got caught match fixing? Have Ineos invested wisely? Let's hope. Let's hope. Let us hope. I don't do no score prediction for me. No score prediction for me. How's Amram's record in finals? I think he's 4-3 in finals. One thing I gotta say that is a little wild is that maybe if Ricardo's still here, I don't know, but if I'm not mistaken, Ricardo or anybody who's watched a decent bit of sporting, from what I remember, he's 4-3 in finals, but also has like his players get red cards a lot. and I imagine, there's a degree of like being super hyped for the final. He's a good motivator, gets people excited that you could go a little bit crazy. So hopefully we don't get some of that, but maybe for the opposition, because we keep playing teams that are getting red cards. So yeah, his finals record's fine. It's nothing crazy, nothing not crazy. But I mean, it's different. Domestic cups with sporting is certainly different. All we need is the players to turn up. Exactly. I'm very excited, by the way. I'm trying to like distract myself. It's so hard. Like, it's so hard to distract yourself because I want to be over the moon with this Cunha signing, which is literally done. Like, guys, we've signed Cunha. You know what I mean? I want to be over the moon with it. But the final is so distracting. But I still want to be over the moon with it because it's crazy, This is such a good signing. Like, I can't even overrate it because I genuinely think this is a Bruno level signing for what it will do for us. Like, it's so big. Like, this is such a massive upgrade on what we have. And not just in performance, right? But in the fact that he does like exactly what we need. And we've never had, right? How long have we been saying we need top-down recruitment? Like, we want a system, we play a certain way, we sign players with the right mentality, with the right hunger, with the right desire, who fit the system, and top-down recruitment. And then you look at it and think, here's our probably our first signing that matches every single box, which is one, fits the system perfectly. Like, just handmade for the system. 2, top mentality in terms of his motivation, his drive, his hunger. The type of guy the shirt will not weigh heavy on at all. Like literally at all. That is big. That is a huge factor in the failures, right? The shirt will not weigh heavy on him. 3, Prem proven. He's in England. He's had 2 top seasons in England. 19 goals and assists last year, 21 goals and assists this year. He's done it in England. So you don't have to worry about that. And then number 4 is how much of an upgrade he is on our current options. And you think it's got like the best circumstances to work, even better than Gyokeres in a sense, because of the transition, the England to England transition. It's so perfectly set up, and yeah, I don't know. It's just so perfectly set up to me. It's a special day though, and the beer over there is like 3% in it. No, we have all sorts of stuff. So the thing with the 3% beer is that if you go to the grocery store, there's a law, okay? I don't totally understand why. It's just America, right? A lot of grocery stores. So like there's liquor stores and there's grocery stores, food markets and alcohol stores, right? And in some states they've legally had to be separate for a long time. And in some states you can't even sell alcohol in the grocery store. And in some states now you can, but the alcohol you sell in the grocery store has to be 3.2% is the limit of alcohol volume. But at the liquor store, there's no limit. It's the same as everywhere else. So like you can buy any beer, it's all normal. But if you go buy it from the grocery store, then it's going to be limited to 3.2 beer. It's a very old-fashioned, very strange, unusual thing, but that's what it is. We have a lot of weird laws around alcohol, obviously. A lot of them relate to driving for some reason. Don't know why. Like even the age has something to do with driving, basically. The 21 thing versus 18 has something to do with driving. It's confusing. I'm American. I didn't even know this. Yeah. So if you ever go to hold on. Here. Now this changed. By the way, at times. So like it's changed over the years. So like here in Colorado before 2019, you couldn't. It had to be 3.2%. And then it got changed to allowing you to buy full alcohol. And then this year they signed a new law that says you can't sell liquor at grocery stores though. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. It's just random. Yeah, it's all random. There's states where you can't buy alcohol on Sundays still, which is obviously old religious stuff, right? Can't buy alcohol in Georgia on a Sunday until 11:30. Yeah, like there's lots of strange laws. I don't think that our preseason starts until July 6th or 7th or something like that. So that's when we need people to come in. But yeah, very excited about Mr. Cunha, Mathis Cunha. He's exciting talent. Put it that way. Exciting talent. Evanston, Illinois is a dry town until super recently. Yeah, that's where I'm from, actually. Yeah, we do have a brief little tour out to Asia, to Malaysia, right? But then everybody's off for a while. How's the weather? It's cool. It's nice. It's actually gonna warm up a lot in my sweater. I'll probably change when I get home into a shirt because it's gonna warm up a lot today. It's nice. Spent 4 years of university in Evanston. Yeah, Evanston's nice. It's cool. It's a nice, calm place. Oh man, who's there? All right, let's see. It's, wow, Berbatov, Rio, Glenn Hoddle, Gareth Bale, Paul Scholes. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, how you guys feeling now? How you guys feeling now? I work in IT. No, no, I do not. I do not. Definitely don't. Nervous? Really nervous? I think Euro starts. No, I don't think Xerxes, Euro, or Dallo will start personally because Amram said they're on limited minutes. Now, you could take that to be like 60 minutes, but I don't think it works that way. I think they're cleared when they're on limited minutes. I think they're cleared for 30 or 40, and then they get cleared to just play. So I think he literally said that they're not available. But he said something this morning, didn't he? He said maybe your most important players are on the bench or something like that. Because, like, obviously, I feel like guys like Xerxes, Lenny, and such can be game changers to come on if as long as we're still in the game, you know. Mason Mount, but then I've wondered honestly, like, is Garnacho that guy? Is Mason Mount that guy? Are they one of those guys who's going to be on the bench? Who's like a game changer in his eyes? Who does that mean? My biggest fear is Onana. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I had to pick one thing that worries me, it's Onana. Like, because I here's where I feel about Onana. This is what bothers me. I don't think he'll help us. Like, I don't think he's ever gonna make a save you wouldn't expect him to make. Like, just bail us out of one bad moment. You know what I mean? And keep the momentum alive. Keep the game alive. Keep us on the front foot. You know, like, even if he doesn't make a mistake, I don't think he's gonna ever do something that saves us. And sometimes you need that. Good teams need that sometimes from a keeper to, like, save you from a mistake. You know what I mean? Not just stop the ball that's hit straight at them. That's the thing, right? Like, we're like, when Onana makes an ordinary save we expect him to make, we're like, oh, thank God. But shouldn't we want more than that? Shouldn't we expect more than that? I think so. Maybe Garnacho, Mount, and Bruno in the front. Yeah, if you want, I'll give you my lineup again for the game. Like, who I want. I think I still got it saved here. Considering Yoro, Xerxes, and Dallo cannot start. Let's say that. This would be my team for today. This is not the lineup. This is not a leak. This is nothing like that. I mean, it could be. I don't know. But it's not a leak. This was my team all for days now. This has been my team. I think I said this was my team last week. What's the correct with Gyokeres? If we win, I think we'll get him. I think we'll throw the bid in like right afterwards and get him. I think this is the best team to win. I don't care about the front three. I've put them in different positions at different times. It doesn't really matter to me. It's fluid. Garnacho is going to be the furthest forward in reality, no matter what. It's whatever. Like, don't worry about that. No matter how we play, if it was like this, Mount and Bruno will be dropping and Garnacho will be staying forward. For the most part. How do you handle the overlaps from Porro and Udogi? It's to me, it's kind of simple. Maguire sits on Solanke, backed up by one of the other center backs, and you just mark them. You have to double mark on the sides. Double mark the runners. Don't worry about Porro. Double mark the runners. Ugarte and Mazraoui take Son. Casemiro and Shaw follow Brennan Johnson. Don't worry about the fullback. I mean, genuinely, don't even worry about them so much. Just double mark from the midfield. Because I'm not super worried about these guys. Mount and Bruno will naturally drop deep to defend, to pick up, Betancourt, to pick up, the other guy, whoever it is, what his name is, Sar. I would just double mark the runners. That's the only time we ever have a weakness is those runners. Just double mark them. And then they'll get start and then be ready to spring Dorgu and Ahmad in behind Porro and Udogi. They'll start to drop deeper and deeper and deeper, and we'll gain more and more control of the game over time. I think it's that simple, really. Because we're going to be able to hit behind them. We need to hit that ball into the channels, into the fullbacks for me, the wing backs rather. That's where I think we have the biggest advantage. Yeah, like I say, I don't need these guys to sit on Pedro Porro and Udogi. Just double mark the runners. Just double mark the runners and just block off the space and be ready to run in behind. That's all. That's the best way. Because we've got enough here to block off the middle. Just double mark the runners for me. That's all I want. And we'll start to push them back and stabilize them. But the other thing I really think is this has to be the four-man midfield. I didn't say, I know I said that it'll be one in the wide areas, and I agree. But I think as long as we have these four in the midfield, we'll be fine. Because we will outnumber them, and their strength of all the movement they do in the midfield will be gone. And then we will find the spaces for the wingbacks, and those are going to decide the games. If we can get Ahmad and Dorgu in behind, then we'll win. Because we will keep pushing them back. We'll keep getting them into difficult situations, and we'll create situations where we're running at Romero and Van de Ven when they're in the back, when they're defending deep, and that's where they're the weakest by far. They're amateur back into their own third defending. So to me, it's like just stay solid in the middle, and these guys are going to be the key. Jump at the right time, get behind at the right time, and we'll be fine. The four is Mount, Bruno, Casemiro, and Ugarte. Those are the four. That box midfield is a way to give you an advantage in this game. The one thing that scares me a bit is this, though. I don't want to see this. Like, I know this wouldn't be Garnacho. I really, really, really don't want to see Mazraoui out wide because I really think this is an awful, awful matchup for us. Against Udogi. I think he'll be run ragged. I think he'll be out of position. I think he'll get beat. I think we'll lose our markers, and he does not have the pace to get in behind. And look, Mazraoui's a professional, so you never know, right? It's like any given Sunday. But at the same time, I worry about him when the game's not in front of him. That he doesn't have the pace, the pace and the power to get in behind in those places. I think he'll be. He's bad running. Like when the game's in front of him, he's a really top defender as Mazraoui. At center back, but when he's out wide, he's not, and he's been struggling a little bit. So I hope we get it right. Honestly, yeah, Dallo would be nice. Well, yeah, and look, it's like I would even prefer like second to Ahmad out wide would be for sure Dallo for me because he actually has the engine there. But that's why like I think that waiting for the team is a little more nerve wracking. Because I think there's ways we can make mistakes. Even though I'm going to back the players, I think there's ways we can make mistakes that could be super costly with the team selection. For sure with the team selection. And the biggest one for me is the right wing back area. If it's Mazraoui, I think we're in serious trouble. Like more than anything else, we're in serious trouble if we do that. Because that is one of the worst we've done. No, I'm saying assuming Yoro and Xerxes can't start. Look, if Xerxes can start, he's going in my team up front instantly. If Yoro can start, he's playing instantly. But I don't think they can. That's what I'm saying. On the basis that they can't start because they're on limited minutes. That's what I'm talking about. Penalty takers? You mean like if it gets to PKs? I'll tell you who I would send up, okay? Obviously Bruno, Maguire. Casemiro's missed one for us, but Casemiro, Ahmad, Shaw. Shaw's a good strike of the ball, to be fair. Those would be my 5. But they may not all be on the pitch by the time it gets to penalties, if it gets to penalties. I'm not telling you if I know the team or not. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't put Eriksson on pens cold. I don't like putting cold players on penalties. Mount, yeah, Mount I would pick. I would never put cold players on penalties ever. I think it's a huge, huge mistake when people do that. I think you just don't put cold players on pens. Yeah, Mazraoui, yeah, he could be on pens. But I would never put it like it depends when you sub them on. You know what I mean? Like if someone's on at 60 minutes, then that's fair. If someone's on at 70 minutes, then that's fair. If someone comes on at 110, 115, I'm not putting them on pens. No fucking way. I would absolutely not ever put a guy who just came on pens. I still have nightmares over Southgate doing that. Cold house. So think the Euros. Southgate puts on Sancho and Rashford with a minute left for penalties. Dickhead. Absolute dickhead decision that was. Absolute dickhead decision that was. Putting them on so late in the game just for penalties when they're cold, when they're out of it, when the nerves are highest, when they haven't had time to get into the rhythm of the game. Dickhead. That is such a scummy move, honestly, in my opinion. You want guys who are in the rhythm, who are settled on their nerves, who've been playing for a long time, who've been running into players, who've been doing all of that, to be taking penalties. You do not want the guys coming on who are their heart rate is going to be going from cold to skyrocketing. You do not want that at all. It did help that, yeah, but they missed the net. You know what I mean? Like, they missed the fucking net with the Pens. The Pens were bad. Like, but they were, it's like you go from resting. Whoom. No, you need that time because then your heart rate can actually drop while you're taking the pen. You don't want your heart rate shooting up while you're taking a penalty. You want your heart rate to settle. If you're playing, your heart rate's high. You get this moment of pause and you can be calm. You don't want to go from low to high on a penalty. It's the opposite. It's just you don't want that at all. So I think that was a terrible decision. No, Rashford's good at penalties. He's got a great record of penalties. He did it against PSG in big moments and all that. Like, it's not like Rashford's a bad penalty taker. It was an awful decision to put him to do that to them. Did I play footy? I mean, I played on my school team for a while, yeah, but I played every sport for a long time. And there's a lot of similarities between them from many perspectives. I've played and coached a sport pretty much my whole life, at least. Between soccer and American football. So football and football. I can't. If it goes to Pens, I think I will literally think I will throw up, man. I will literally throw up, I think. I'm not sure what I will do. I don't want that gives me so much anxiety even talking about it. I don't even want to discuss it. Ooh. Which one is harder to play, football or they're so different. Because American football is all position based, right? Like, it's the positions and skill sets are so different. So, like, I don't know how to put it. Like, you can't just be a footballer, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm not saying that I'm not saying that makes American football harder. I'm saying that even like at any level, you kind of can't just be like, even by the time you're like 7, 8 years old, you have to have almost like a position in American football. Like, obviously there's skill players, right? You've got your skill players, the guys who are fast, who run with the ball, who can catch and run and pick it up and run. And that's one aspect. And there's plenty of kids who are like that growing up. But beyond that, it's like quarterback, you have to start doing that when you're like 5 years old, man. You literally have to start like getting the exact throws down, the timings, all of that. Like, you got to start so young. I played quarterback as a position for a long time. For American football, I played from when I was like 5 through high school. I played quarterback, but then I was too short. Then the height problem comes into play once you get to the high school level, which is a shame because I was very good at it, but that's okay. But yeah, I think American football is like more complex in a way, because you really do have to specialize from a young age, you know. What kind of game am I expecting from Hoyland? A great game from young Rasmus Hoyland. Wonderful performance. If the best athletes in the NFL played soccer from youth, the U.S. men's national team would be unreal. Yeah, it would be very good. Chelsea are planning in-person face-to-face talks with Liam Delap to present their project. Yeah. Don't you have to memorize the whole playbook as well? Yeah. The QB generally does, yeah. It's a lot of thinking. Oh, man. This is absolutely terrifying. Any better? My nerves are getting worse. I mean, they just keep growing every minute. I already know the lineup is going to upset me. I think the lineup is probably going to upset everybody a little bit, but don't be upset. It's all about who shows up. Because I'll tell you why. Who are the most important players today? Maguire, Casemiro, Bruno, and Ahmad. As long as all four are on the pitch, we should win. Probably. Damn, work keeps pulling me away from the stream. It's okay. Subs are important in a final. Casemiro is not important to me. I think he is. To be fair, in my opinion, I think Ugarte is just as important, and I think if he doesn't play, we lose. But you know, but I think it's because it's actually to me less one of them and more the partnership. We have to have it, or we won't be able to deal with the Spurs midfield. In my opinion, I think we'll get run around ragged, and we'll really struggle without it. It's the partnership. It's the balance that matters to me. Because then it allows them to do what they're good at and plays into their strengths. If Bruno is deep, we won't score a goal. We'll be chasing our tails all game. That's my opinion. I don't like Ugarte with the Spurs. That's the point. Whatever your thoughts are, we have to have the legs and the midfield to deal with those three because they're not even that good, but they do have legs. You know, this Spurs lineup are not that good, but they do have the legs. And we have to be able to match that to a degree. We have to be able to follow them. We have to be able to run with them. Collier, he might be in the squad. I mean, he's there. He's healthy, but he hasn't played in ages. But yeah, he might be in the squad. Ronaldo Brown from Paddock. This is a good analogy when I've been talking about how important the match is. He says the importance of this match is being less than halfway up a cliff with a time limit. Lose, and we fall to the bottom. Win allows us to keep climbing. One of our most important matches in a decade. I agree with that. Because that's kind of the point I'm making is like losing is devastating because it really does send us to the bottom. Whereas with a win, it's like a little leap up the cliff towards the top. Once the game is over, win or lose, we need to get some work done. Yeah, I mean, we have to fix the front and back. We have to fix the front and back. We have to have a keeper, and we have to have a minimum of 2 forwards. I've just changed my mind and put Ahmad at number 10, number 9. Okay. At the start of the season, the one team I didn't want to face in the final was Spurs. I know. It's just how it is, man. Just how it is. Oof. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to end it here. I gotta go get home. I gotta do a few things. I will see you all later. Have a good one. I'll be live in like an hour, and then we'll do the lineup and everything else. It's been an hour and a half hanging out here. Um, see you later. Have a good one, everybody. See you in an hour, and then by then we'll